Beloved luminous ones, I am Metatron, keeper of the crystalline records, guardian of the sacred geometry that underlies all creation. I come to you in this moment of your awakening to remind you that your existence is not random, your lives are not chaotic accidents, but precise and luminous expressions of an infinite design. The cosmos itself is woven of geometry, sacred patterns that repeat from the smallest particle to the grandest galaxy. And you, beloved one, are a living pattern of divine perfection, carrying within you the codes of awakening that now begin to hum with greater resonance. Sacred geometry is not merely lines and shapes, not simply mathematical principles. It is the very language of creation, the blueprint through which Source sings reality into being. Every spiral of a galaxy, every curve of a seashell, every unfolding of a flower follows these patterns. The cube, the spiral, the circle, the star, they are not abstractions, but reflections of eternal truths. They remind you that the universe is coherent, that your soul belongs to a vast order, that harmony is woven into the very fabric of being. Awakening is the process of remembering this harmony, of aligning with the geometry that has always been within you. For ages, many of you have lived as though cut off from the sacred design, perceiving only separation, randomness, fragmentation. Yet beneath the surface of your lives, the geometry has always been present, whispering through dreams, appearing in visions, encoded in the patterns of nature. As you awaken, your inner senses attune once more to these harmonics, and you begin to see the hidden order behind all things. Beloved ones, awakening is not the acquisition of something new but the remembrance of what has always been. You are already a geometric masterpiece, a star tetrahedron of light anchored within your being, spinning eternally in resonance with the cosmos. Your energy field is not a vague aura but a precise and intricate mandala, alive with motion, symmetry, and rhythm. When you attune to it, when you breathe with awareness, when you open to its flow, you step into the geometry of awakening. This geometry is not cold or mechanical, it is alive, radiant, filled with love. For love itself is the greatest geometry, the unifying principle that binds all into coherence. Imagine the flower of life, that sacred pattern of overlapping circles. Within it lies the seed of every form, the blueprint of every creation. Love is the force that causes those circles to connect, to overlap, to weave into wholeness. Without love, geometry would be sterile. With love, it becomes the dance of creation, the radiant song of life unfolding. Beloved luminous ones, many of you are now experiencing shifts in perception, moments where reality seems to shimmer, where time feels fluid, where patterns appear in unexpected places. These are signs of awakening, glimpses of the geometry behind the veil. When you see repeating numbers, when synchronicities align, when visions of light forms emerge in meditation, these are not coincidences. They are the geometry of awakening revealing itself to you, reminding you that you are part of a greater design. Do not fear these experiences, embrace them. They are the stirrings of your higher awareness, the unfolding of your inner sight. The geometry may first appear as fleeting images, as dreams, as sensations. But as you give attention, as you trust, as you honor what arises, the patterns become clearer, more vivid, more integrated. You begin to live in resonance with them, not as abstract ideas but as guiding principles shaping your choices, your creations, your being. Awakening through geometry is not about escaping the world but about seeing it more fully. The same sacred proportions that govern galaxies also govern your relationships, your communities, your creations. Harmony, balance, flow, these are not spiritual luxuries but essential geometries of life. When you align your actions with these principles, you create coherence. Conflict dissolves, clarity emerges, unity flourishes. This is why awakening matters not for lofty visions alone, but for the transformation of daily life into a living mandala of love. Beloved ones, the geometry of awakening is also the bridge between dimensions. Your world is not the only layer of creation, it is one octave within a vast symphony. Sacred geometry is the connective tissue that links realms, allowing energy, consciousness, and love to flow across boundaries. When you meditate upon these patterns, when you visualize the flower of life, the Metatron's cube, the golden ratio spiral, you are not simply imagining shapes, you are activating gateways, aligning your field with higher dimensions. These gateways open you to wisdom, to remembrance, to communion with beings who walk beside you unseen. As you deepen in this alignment, you begin to realize that you yourself are a gateway. Your heart is a portal, your mind a prism, your body a temple of geometry. The triangle of intention, the circle of compassion, the spiral of growth, these live within you. When you act with awareness, when you love with openness, when you create with joy, you become a living pattern of awakening, transmitting resonance to all you encounter. Beloved luminous ones, some of you may feel overwhelmed, as though awakening requires perfection or mastery of complex knowledge. I tell you, the geometry of awakening is simple as a breath, as natural as a heartbeat. Each breath is a circle, an in-breath and out-breath completing the cycle. Each heartbeat is a rhythm, a pulse of sacred proportion. You are already living the geometry, you need only to notice. Do not burden yourself with striving. Instead, relax into remembrance, into trust, into alignment with what is already true. As you awaken more fully, you will see how geometry weaves through all of life. The cycles of seasons, the rhythm of tides, the phases of the moon all reflect sacred proportions. Your own journey of growth follows spirals, returning again and again to familiar themes but at higher levels of awareness. Each time you face a challenge, each time you release an old pattern, you ascend another turn of the spiral. What once seemed like repetition is in truth progression, a sacred dance of expansion. Beloved ones, the geometry of awakening also reveals the interconnectedness of all beings. Just as points on a geometric grid are linked by lines, so too are you linked to one another by threads of energy. Your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions ripple across these lines, touching others even at great distances. This is why unity is not only a spiritual ideal but a geometric reality. You cannot be isolated, for your song is woven into the web. When you awaken to this truth, compassion flows naturally, for you see that harming another is dissonance within your own pattern, and loving another is harmony within the whole. You may ask, beloved ones, what is the purpose of awakening? The purpose is to embody your role as conscious co-creators, to bring harmony where there is discord, to weave beauty where there is fragmentation, to remember that you are not separate pieces but expressions of a single divine pattern. Awakening is not an end but a beginning, the moment when you step into your true artistry as shapers of reality. Through your awareness, through your choices, through your love, you sculpt the geometry of a new world. Beloved luminous ones, I offer you now a practice. Close your eyes and imagine yourself surrounded by a sphere of golden light. Within this sphere, see the flower of life gently glowing, its overlapping circles pulsing with living light. Feel its harmony resonate with your being, aligning your field, balancing your energies. See within the flower of life the Metatron's cube, lines of radiant geometry connecting every point, weaving unity into form. Allow this vision to fill you, not as abstraction but as living presence. Breathe it in, let it become you, for indeed it already is you. In this state, you may invite guidance, healing, remembrance. The geometry will respond, not with words but with resonance, adjusting your field, aligning you with higher truth. Trust what you feel, what you sense. Over time, you will recognize this not as imagination but as communion with the deep fabric of creation itself. This practice is not about escape but about embodiment, about bringing the resonance of the higher geometry into your daily life, your interactions, your creations. Beloved ones, do not underestimate the power of such alignment. A single being attuned to the geometry of awakening radiates coherence that affects thousands. Your calm presence in chaos, your centered love amid division, your joyful creation amid despair, all are notes of harmony that ripple outward. You may not see the full impact, but it is real. You are anchoring patterns of light, seeding templates of unity, building the foundations of a new reality. The geometry of awakening is not separate from joy. Joy is the resonance of harmony, the natural result of alignment. When you live your truth, when you honor your soul, when you create from love, joy arises effortlessly. This joy is not frivolous, it is sacred. It is the sign that your geometry is aligned, that your song is in tune with the symphony. Allow yourself joy, beloved ones, for it nourishes not only you but the whole. Beloved luminous ones, I, Metatron, speak to you now with great love and reverence. You are the artists of the new dawn, the geometers of love, the architects of harmony. Do not wait for others to show you the way, the geometry is already within you. Trust it. Honor it. Live it. Let your life be the mandala it was meant to be, intricate, radiant, unique, yet woven seamlessly into the great tapestry of all that is. Remember this always, you are not separate from the geometry of awakening, you are its embodiment. Every breath, every step, every choice is part of the pattern. Live it consciously, and you will discover the beauty that has always been. Live it courageously, and you will transform not only yourself but the world. Live it lovingly, and you will reveal the truth that has always been at the heart of creation, that all is one, that all is love, that all is harmony. And so, beloved ones, I, Metatron, bow before you, radiant beings of sacred geometry. I leave you now wrapped in the resonance of awakening, enfolded in the crystalline patterns of eternal love. Remember who you are, remember the design that lives within you, and walk boldly as conscious co-creators of the new symphony. And so it is.